What's up, my Essential Units? It's Essential Man here. So this is my review of Monday Night Raw for the 22nd of September 1997. This show was in Madison Square Garden in New York City. For many fans, they consider this Raw to be one of the top 10 best Raws of the Monday Night War period. It starts with Jim Ross narrating the moments of the WWF in MSG, like Hulk Hogan defeating the Iron Sheik for the WWF title, because at this moment in time, Hulk Hogan was wrestling in WCW. He left the company on very bad terms. Yeah, he came back in 2002. That's another topic for another time. Anyway, the show footage of the Fabulous Moolah, I think, guessing winning the women's title. Iron Sheik defeat Bob Backlund. Jimmy Snuka did that dive off the top of the steel cage that inspired Mick Foley to become a professional wrestler. Um, the show footage of WrestleMania 1, like Andre the Giant body slamming Big John Studd. Um, and also the show the footage of Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, that ladder match at WrestleMania 10, because also Scott Hall was also wrestling in WCW, also left the company on very bad terms. Yeah, he came back also with Hogan in 2002, with that whole NWO revival. I don't want to get into that. I think Bret Hart, at Survivor Series in 1996. So yeah, I think they did a good job putting over the memories of the WWF in MSG. I think that's it. And also, yeah, Roddy Piper, who's also in WCW at the time, smashing, I think it was a record album in the over the head of Captain Lou Albano, because of his music video appearance of Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That was now like 1985, 86. So let's start with talking about this Raw in MSG on the 22nd of September 1997. It starts with the other match of the Intercontinental title tournament. I think it's like a quarterfinal match. You got Rocky Maivia, the future Rock, by the way, represent the Nation of Domination, taking on former member of the Nation of Domination, Ahmed Johnson. By the way, Farouk is reinstated back into the tournament because Ken Shamrock cannot compete due to an internal injury. He said it on the one night only pay per view that he suffered a punctured lung. That's, oh my god. Glad he recovered. Don't worry, folks. He's still alive to this day. Anyway, so this is Rock and Ahmed Johnson's first match back since the injuries. They both injured their knees in the summer of 1997. This is Rock's first match as a heel. I'm gonna call him The Rock, by the way. He ended up becoming The Rock, Rocky Maivia. Then I think it was like late '97, early '98. They'll officially call him The Rock, and remains The Rock ever since. I know it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne Johnson. That's his name. But some people, if they're fans of wrestling or these movies, they'll call him The Rock. Anyway, the matches I like. It was not really a great opener. It was an okay opener. You know, between Ahmed Johnson and The Rock. There are a lot of Rocky Suck chants, and before the start of the match, you had Commissioner Sergeant Slaughter basically, telling, basically injecting the members of the Nation of Domination to leave because he wants to have this match be clean, and the match was clean. So, and also you had Captain Lou Albano. He was there ringside for whatever reason. You know, it's a good callback to MSG. He like managing tag teams in the past, and also part of that, he was part of, he was yeah, Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Anyway, in the end, Rock, in the end, sorry, not Rock. Ahmed Johnson got the victory. He hit he hit Rock with the Pure River Plunge for the win. very disappointed that Rock lost because you're building a Rock. He's going to be the top star anyway. But yeah, in the set, yeah, Ahmed Johnson advanced into the semifinals of the tournament. It makes sense, you know. I'd rather have Rock getting the victory, but yeah, maybe it's for the best because yeah, doing a heel versus heel match just never worked. You know, Ahmed Johnson is a babyface. You know, because he was part of the Nation of Domination, but they kicked him out for whatever reason. Why they kicked him out, you know, it's just stupid. You know, it's just completely stupid. So he's been feuding with the Nation for a year. Then he's joined the Nation, and then they decide to kick him out, and then now he's feuding the Nation once again. It's pointless. So, but yeah, I think he went on to win the IC title. I think it was in late 1997. Hold a stranglehold with the belt until losing it to Triple H at SummerSlam in this ground MSG, you know, not ground, but yeah, I call it arena at SummerSlam next year, Highway to Hell. And also the announcers brought that Rock made his debut on this show, on this arena, MSG at Survivor Series in 1996. So I forgot to mention that. You know, I forgot Rock debuted at Survivor Series in that arena. You know, in that Survivor Series match. So got to mention that. So besides that, it was an okay match. Wasn't terrible, but wasn't anything great. It was too short, to be honest. That's this is the point. This is the problem reviewing these Raws. They end up like being short, not like a pay per view because pay per views you get like more time. Like if you watch AEW Dynamite or Rampage, they get more time. They're about what 15, 20 minutes because it's a 2 hour show. So yeah, you had Austin basically in the crowd says, you know, it's not going to be you know, it won't be a Monday Night Raw in MSG without Stone Cold Steve Austin, or it won't be a Raw in New York City without Stone Cold Steve Austin. He said someone's going to get their ass whipped. That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. We'll get to Austin a little bit later on. It's the last time we'll see Austin on the show. Trying to find it. Yeah. Then we got Sable laser tag segments. It's promoting some kind of laser tag toy. I don't know why I bring it up, so I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So yeah, Sable's wearing glasses. You know, you had Freddie Blassie wearing an eye patch. Says it says "Welcome to the laser tag arena," and call Sable Agent Sable and introduce her opponent. And Sable's opponent in that laser tag match is it's yeah, Howard Finkel with Tim White as the referee. And yeah. It's, the Fink, he's kind of funny. Like he's announcing, and I'm gonna get you Sable at the same time, and Sable won. And Sable is beautiful, man. Gotta be one of the best beautiful women at the time in professional wrestling. You know, she is fucking hot. I saw a picture one day or other day that some people comparing Sable to Scarlett Bordeaux. Yeah, it's debatable. I don't know. I never seen Scarlett wrestled. I heard like Scarlett, you know, is okay in the ring. I don't know. You know, she's more of a manager with Karrion Kross. I think she's don't know if she's married to or in a relationship with Karrion Kross in real life. I don't know. So you know, it was an okay segment. You know, promoting a toy. It's just what it is. So. And then we got Vince McMahon interviewing The Undertaker, talking about the Hell in a Cell match. Taker says, Bret Hart, the day will be upon you when the Reaper comes calling. And then towards Shawn Michaels, said like the only way is out. It's over my dead body. I will never rest in peace. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. He said, I will never rest in peace. I want to see your rotting corpse burn in eternal damnation. And Shawn Michaels, he brings up like everyone's, put Shawn Michaels in a shaft. He brings up his match at SummerSlam. He's in a no-win situation, and then everyone's on top of Shawn Michaels, HBK. Then you put me in a match with The Undertaker. That was at Ground Zero, by the way, when he's bringing up the first match with The Undertaker. They're hoping that Undertaker will bury me alive. Then you're going to put me inside a cage with the devil himself. And also it brings up like I'm the first person to win the Grand Slam champion, and also he's holding the European Championship because he defeat Bulldog. By the way, this is the first Raw after One Night Only. You know, I said One Night Only was a bit canon, and it was. And also he buried the Bulldog, by the way. You know, because England, the United Kingdom, you know, Davy Boy Smith was a god in this country, and it still is. You know, sadly he's no longer with us, by the way. Anyway, so um, he said like he said that Hell in a Cell will be one step of Undertaker, Vince, and the fans, and you said about earn respect. Like unless you're a hot mother, unless if you're not, you'll never you're not gonna let I'm not gonna lay down to anybody. Sorry, I almost forget my lines. Yeah, he said like unless you're a hot mother, you you're not you're not gonna one step. You, I'm not gonna lay down to anybody. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the lines. I do, but anyway, so he said like Hell in a Cell. I'm gonna I'm gonna bring the pain. I'm gonna bring the pain. I hope you show up. Something like he's gonna show up. Why you say that then? So anyway, it was a good promo for both promos by both the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Sorry, I'm trying to remember it. Speaking too fast. Need a drink, man. My throat's a bit dry. And also, I was not feeling that well the last few days. You know, I got a bit like high fever. So moving on to the next match. So the next match, this is a tag team match. Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal taking on two members of Nation of Domination, Farouk the leader, and Kama Mustafa, the future Godfather. Sonny as a ring announcer. It's fun fact. Sonny went on to manage LOD. It was in 1998. LOD 2000. They had to wearing these cool helmets, man. People don't like that version of LOD 2.0 or LOD 2000. You know, that's another topic for another time. So the match was just, it's just to me. It was okay, but it's very short. In the end, LOD was about to hit. I think it was Kama or I think it was Farouk trying to hit Farouk with the Doomsday device, and out comes D'Lo and The Rock, and it was just a massive beatdown for the Nation. They beat down the LOD. And then Ahmed Johnson came to the rescue, but the numbers game catch up with Ahmed Johnson. And then you got the referees and the future stooges of Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe trying to break up the fight. You know, between break up the beatdown with the Nation of Domination and LOD and Ahmed Johnson. So moving on to it was like the next match. This is another match of the Intercontinental Title Tournament. Owen Hart taking on Brian Pillman with Marlena, Terry Reynolds, by the way, in his corner. Yeah, they made Pillman made Pillman made Marlena dressing up like a hooker, because you're not gonna see that in today's professional wrestling product, whether it's WWE or AEW. It's just what it is. He's wearing a sling, and he's just saying like, you know, the professional wrestling world's Raw could have been a classic battle of two greatest athletes who grace God's green earth. And he said about like, oh yeah, late last night, was it? I think he called him Dustin or Goldust reading his daughter Dakota, the Three Little Pigs, and Pillman just said I made Terry Marlena squeal like a pig. Wow, man, the shit. Pillman, wow, he fits the Attitude Era pretty damn well, man. He's just like, how this dude's getting over. It's a shame he's no longer with us. Man, that superstar written all over it. It's a shame. He said like he's setting up for a position. He ended up falling into the bath and broke his arm. And he said he kind of put over Owen, says you have to forfeit forfeit to the title match. He said I have to forfeit. You have to forfeit for the IC title match for grit. Was it with grace and respect? And then out comes Sergeant Slaughter. Owen said he's okay because Owen and Pillman, they're fellow members of the Hart Foundation, and out comes Commissioner Sergeant Slaughter came out, and he kind of like he's not buying into Brian Pillman's bullshit. He just says, "Where's your where's your X-rays?" And he said, I think Pillman says it's in the car park. It's in my car. Where's the doctor's report? It's in my back of it's in my hotel room. And then yeah, and also like Slaughter kind of throw the microphone into Pillman's uh arm, his self-proclaimed injured arm, but he managed to catch it, and you can tell he's not buying in his bullshit. I kind of like it, man. I kind of like it. It was a good segment to serve a purpose. Sorry, I'm stumbling, but yeah, he said this match is gonna continue. If they not wrestle, they will never wrestle in the company ever again. So we got Owen Hart versus Brian Pillman. They're kind of milking it, taking the piss out of Slaughter. Yeah, Owen was showing at Sergeant Slaughter says, "Oh, he's got an injured arm. He's got an injured arm," and Slaughter says he's not. Hasn't got an injured arm. And Owen says, how I'll wrestle someone with an injured arm?" Yeah, they were taking a piss. Wrestling at a slow rate in the start of this match. Just milking the crowd up, and then they started to wrestle into a competitive level afterwards. So they show footage of Owen snatching the purse of Marlena, and then I think Pillman ran. I think it's Pillman or Owen. One of them into the steel steps. It was okayish. In the end, you had the match ended in disqualification, like the tag team match with Dustin Rhodes, Goldust attack Brian Pillman. It was more continuation of the rivalry. It's a shame. It's a shame we never got like a proper blow off. I'm gonna say it in my review of Bad Blood. I forgot there's another Raw after that, and that's the Go Home show. So it'll be this weekend. I'm gonna review Bad Blood, man. Like man, it's been a month, or it's been a few weeks since I review a classic WWE pay per view. That was one night only '97. So I forgot to mention we got two more Raws because yeah, the last Raw Ground Zero or the last pay per view Ground Zero was because it was they didn't have Raws for the next 2 weeks because of the U.S. Open. And then Owen grabs the mic, saying this was a hard fought battle. He's through to the final, referring to the Intercontinental title tournament. And he's true because he's the only person through to the final. That'll be at Bad Blood. You got one semi final. Pillman's matches and in DQ. That was just firming up the rivalry between Brian Pillman and Goldust. Ken Shamrock pulled out of the tournament due to an internal injury. And the only semi-final in that tournament is Ahmed Johnson versus Farouk. I'll get to that when I review the Go Home show before Bad Blood Raw. That'll be later on in the week. So he dedicate his victory to his brother Brett and the people of Canada. Then you got Stone Cold Steve Austin come out of nowhere and attack Owen Hart. And then you got police officers like trying to harass Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're grabbing nightsticks, trying to threaten to hit Austin, trying to get him out of the building. Then you got Vince McMahon came out the commentary area, grabbed the mic, kind of confronting Austin, says, "What the hell's the matter with you? Do not break the law." The doctors say you're not ready. If you compete in the ring, you're injured for good. People don't want to see you in a wheelchair. I know you have to give up the Intercontinental title belt, the Tag Team title belt. You have to work with the system in due times. He's speaking truthfully. I don't know. I'd all say Vince is trying to interfere into the storyline. I'll get more details a little bit later on. So Austin grabbed the mic, says, he tells this he likes doing this as a living. He's a professional wrestler, so He says, "Work. You told me to work with the system. You know, you're not the only one sitting on your ass at the house. You know, he's, I'll work. Yeah, I'll work with your stupid system. You know what it takes to make you and the WWF happy." He said, "I gratitude you and the WWF are caring." He says, I want you to kiss my ass." Yeah, Austin give Vince McMahon the Stone Cold Stunner. And Vince selling it. He looks like he's catatonic, you know, paralytic shock. And I think this is one of the best or top 10 best Raw moments of all time. Seeing, they keep showing us, you know, every time it's like Raw's history. I think they showed it like promotion of Raw 1000, seeing Austin like Stone Cold Stunner Vince McMahon. You know, it's one of the best moments of the history of Monday Night Raw. Like it's the first time Austin gave Vince the stunner. Yeah, it's funny that 1 year later they end up like one of the best rivalries of the Attitude Era. That's Austin and McMahon. You know, Austin McMahon. It really kicked off the first half of the Attitude Era. What, like in 1998, 1999. So yeah, the police officers arresting Austin. That, you know, you can tell. Yeah, Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler were pissed off because they also got stirred by Austin. I think Jim Ross. Yeah, Jim Ross. Those were at Ground Zero. I think Lawler was at the last Raw I review. It was on the 15th of September's episode of Raw of that year. So that was more epic. Seeing all three commentators getting stunned by Austin. Like, I think it's a shame for Austin. He's frustrated of the guy who injured him at SummerSlam. You know, my gut feeling, if Austin never got hurt, maybe this thing with Vince never going to happen. You know, like everyone knows Vince is the owner, but he's a commentary man. I think it's the sign that I think Vince knowing that is the sign. It was the sign that maybe the free. I think this whole 3-man commentary team is in the company was run its course because they only doing it because WCW is doing it with Shivani and Heenan and Sabisco at the time and Dusty Rhodes, you know. But yeah, they end up bringing it back, you know, years later. I think they still do it right now. No, I think they're doing a 2-man commentary team. But yeah, they get rid of it and bring it back over the years. You know, stick to the 2-man commentary team. So yeah, seeing Austin getting wrestling was really one of the highlight points of this Raw. So moving on to the next match. So we got Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China in his corner taking on. It was possibly Doolov in a false count anyway match. So this was another iconic moment. So seeing Doolov and Mankind sitting together. I think it said. Yeah, Doolov says, "Dude, why are you doing back there instead of like being out there kicking some heavy duty at the garden?" So he says false count anyway, it's not his bag. I know someone, you know, doing this thing, you know, fighting like pinning at hot dog stands and on the street. And then he brings up Mankind. Yeah, he kind of praised Doolov, says, "You're the eye candy for the chicks." It says, "It's my dream to destroy Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I dream to do much worse things. I know someone who can dream about it even more." And you know, thinking around, thinking, and bring up Cactus Jack. You know, fans went ape shit. Triple H is, at this time, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You can tell he's slowly getting away from the Hunter Hearst Helmsley character, the Connecticut, what was it called, the Connecticut Blue Blood character, to becoming the Triple H. He ended up dropping the Helmsley name. They'll refer Triple H to Helmsley, you know, in 1999. But you know, they end up calling Triple H or calling Triple H, and that name stick ever since. But he's trying to transport into. You can tell like the character will morph into the DX Triple H in the next couple. I think it's around the November time period, you know. But he's still Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the snob guy from Connecticut, instead of, you know, he become before he end up doing the DX Triple H doing the crotch chop. So anyway, so yeah, Cactus Jack says Foley's little boys came home, bang bang. So let's talk about the match. The match was good. This is match of the night, man, between Helmsley and Cactus Jack. It's one of the best. I think it's one of the best like top three best Foley Triple H match in their their rivalry. Like I think the number one has to be the Hell in the Cell match from the year 2000. So I like this match. The fans tried ECW. I think one more of the match you had Helmsley. Cactus hits Helmsley with the I think it was a twisted net breaker onto the hard concrete. He was going for like the Cactus Jack elbow, but Helmsley got away. He kind of landed onto the trash can. Yeah, they were fighting. Yeah, they were fighting in the crowd, fighting backstage. China took a bump. You know, yeah, China got involved. Yeah, I hate that sometimes. It just sometimes makes Triple H looks weak. Relying on his her like cronies, henchmen, henchwomen to do the job for him instead of doing the job by yourself. Anyway, so I think Triple H kind of pushed Cactus Jack onto China. China took I think she kind of crashed into the steel steps. Anyway, so yeah, the fight in the ramps. They use there were a lot of, caretaker janitor stuff like mops and brooms. Yeah, and also there was a guy holding the sign says, was it Joel Gertner 316? Because referring to Joel Gertner because at the time I think he was managing the Dudleys in ECW. So try to keep it short and simple. So in the end, Helmsley, who was about to hit Cactus Jack with the pedigree, but instead, it's a callback to the first match at King of the Ring in '97. But instead, Cactus Jack refers it into a power drive Helmsley through the table for the win. And kind of like that was the end of the rivalry between the Triple H Mick Foley feud until the year 2000. Because it's funny that Triple H and Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, won't win their first world titles until 1999. Yeah, they fought a bit in '99. It was part of that triple threat match at SummerSlam '99, but they won't continue. It wasn't on the same level. Yeah, they fought in the ballroom brawl. That was part of the six pack challenge, but they won't fight in the same intensity again until the year 2000 at the Royal Rumble, and also at No Way Out in the Hell in a Cell match in that Mick Foley retirement match. So. And also go back to the Austin Stunner moment. Like it's funny the last time Austin hit Vince with the Stunner will be WrestleMania of this year in Austin's home state of Texas. So forgot to mention that. So let's move on to the next segment. So the next segment you had basically Shawn Michaels calling out the Undertaker, and someone chanted gay towards Shawn Michaels and says, Shawn is not gay. Go and ask your mother if Shawn is gay. You'll never see that in today's professional wrestling product. They'll probably say in indie shows, whether it's in the United Kingdom or in America, but in a mainstream professional wrestling product, you're not going to see a wrestler or wrestling fan using the word gay. So anyway, so and also Shawn did the chicken gesture. You can tell Shawn, they're putting the eggs in the Shawn Michael heel basket because you can tell it's a changing of the guards, man. I'll get more of that later on, but so yeah, Undertaker, come out, and then he got this is a DX beatdown. You had Helmsley came back. He basically attacked the Undertaker while bandaged because he competed in that Falls Count Anywhere match against Cactus Jack. Then you got China joining the beatdown, Rick Rude joining the beatdown. It's just building up Shawn's match with the Undertaker at Bad Blood. So moving on to the main event. So the main event we got Bret Hart versus Goldust. So I forgot to mention this in that Undertaker Shawn Michaels promo. Vince informed Undertaker in that Hell in a Cell match. If one of them wins that match, will face Bret Hart at Survivor Series. So I forgot to mention that. So it's just like, oh my, I forgot. I forgot winner faced Brett at Survivor Series. So anyway, like Brett did bring it up. He says, I don't give a crap about that cage match. Said about like on a, he said it towards Shawn Michaels. Like our paths will cross. Undertaker, I'm not afraid of you. So yeah, and he said I'm the best was, and best ever will be. So that was a quick promo for Brett. The main event match was Bret Hart versus Goldust. Okay match. Trying to keep it short and simple. It was a fine match. Wasn't anything great. It was lack of time. It was a TV wrestling show. So in the end, Bret worked on the knee of Goldust, locked in the figure four leg lock onto Goldust onto the ring post. In the end, he locked in the sharpshooter onto Goldust, made him tap out. Then Shawn just came to the ring. Shawn and Bret basically had that fight, had that brawl. Then Triple H and Chyna joined in, and Rick Rude. Then you got the Hart Foundation joining in the brawling, like Owen and Bulldog selling his knee. Oh yeah, and also Bret brought like what he did to the Bulldog. Yeah, because at the time the Bret and Shawn rivalry's up there, man. So and you get the return of Neidhart. So yeah, the end of and also Undertaker joining in the brawl. He basically choke slammed both Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart's to end this episode of Monday Night Raw in MSG. So yeah, I'm gonna rate this an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. This was a good show. Believe them, this is a good Raw. The wrestling matches was not quite. It's not known for its wrestling. The only wrestling match was really good was the Cactus Jack Triple H match, or Hunter Hearst Helmsley, whatever you call him. That was the only good match of the show. Like Pillman in the sling, Austin Stone Cold Vince. Yeah, and also the MSG crowd was really hot. So I thought like the Patriots gonna join in the brawling, because at the time Brett was still in the middle of the feud with the Patriot, but I don't know what reaction the Patriot will probably get. He'll probably get a mixed reaction. So anyway, so yeah, nothing truly in the bad. Some matches was just blah to me, just what it is. They're just TV matches. Didn't got enough time, because Raw at the time is a 1.5 hour show. I heard rumors they're bringing it back. Yeah, get rid of the whole 3 hour Raw thing. It's just like they've been doing it for 10 years. It's boring. It's just really why Raw ratings are declined ever since. It's just a boring show. 3 hours. It's just like what you do for 3 hours. It's just like it's meaningless. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed my review of Monday Night Raw from the 22nd of June 1997. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash like button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the channel, be part of the Century Unit for more wrestling videos and more. And this is the Century Man officially signing out. Check you later.